Hello everyone, it is Joe. I have just opened my eyes today, so if I'm a little bleary and I'm coming from a weird angle, I know you'll appreciate it just as you would anything else. As you can see, I'm still in my tent, and I have received from deep inside of me some wonderful gifts. Um, I also just popped a zit here, so my vanity is a little tweaked by that. I thought it would look better, but now it just looks like a big red dot. I use this thing as a mirror sometimes, and at the beginning of the day, it's distracting to want to attend to those things, but I want to stay in the dream world, and that's why I'm talking to you right now. Let me stay focused with you and remember that I received some wonderful gifts from deep inside of me. I interacted with some deep parts of myself and had exchanges where we supported each other. Me, the conscious Joe, and the other mysterious and deeper Joes that are usually only accessed through dreams and waking intuition and those types of things, but maybe through other ways, who knows? Reflections in other people and other entities. Perhaps I'm open to it all as I create a better and better life for myself. Anyway, I'm trying to talk in a way that I can get back to my thoughts and remember those half-remembered dreams. I hope all of you take time early in the morning for the parts of yourself that come out so easily right before you wake up in dreams, and that we can only remember maybe a bit. But it's okay, because the intuitive part of ourself remembers more of it. The conscious mind can remember some, and the intuition and emotional part of us, of our nervous system, can remember more. And remember, you'll be asleep again in another 12 to 18 hours and learn more. Get more of that stuff to the surface as we become comfortable with it. I think I'm confusing my pronouns, but you know what I mean. As a writer, I start editing myself when I talk, and sometimes that helps with clarity, but sometimes it just slows me down. I'll keep doing some of both. Anyway, it's been a while since I've spoken with you guys. As you can see, I have the phone close to my face because I don't have my glasses on. So if I did it from here, I couldn't see. Oh, that's weird. I'm doing it from here. I want you all to know a small piece of what I learned. I couldn't remember the big pieces well enough to wrap my mind around them. I remembered pieces of them, but I couldn't fit them together into a puzzle that made sense. So if I told you about them, they would just sound abstract and strange, so I'm not going there yet. But I did get one piece, a very small piece compared to the at least two other huge pieces that ended up getting funneled into my intuition, not my conscious mind. And I look forward to them. I had some kind of interaction with, like I said, deeper other parts of myself, and we kind of like supported each other at the same time they were supporting us, and kind of did a round robin of learning from each other, of playing the roles of teacher and student, which it was funny. It was kind of like we were playing this game of supporting each other and teaching each other and learning from each other, but we were also not playing the game. Like, the rules were kind of there as a structure, but we were breaking the rules as well. It was really fascinating. Like I said, it was going to sound abstract when I talk about that stuff. In my other dream, I was processing a Bashar quote that I heard on Positive Heads, Brendan Beecham's podcast, yesterday, and thinking about how we move from one universe layer to the other with our feelings, and how we let go of things, and how we get stuck with things, but we can move on to another universe layer where we're still stuck on that thing, but maybe it's better in other ways. Maybe we're free in other ways, though some of our things remain the same, and we can let go of those that we're stuck on from long ago and maybe move even faster and freer. It's really fascinating stuff. The dream was about other people's universe layers. And of course, you may know, I say of course, but maybe you know, maybe you don't, that the people in our dream are us, right? Just like in waking life. But the people in our dreams are us. And they're different, psychologists would say that they're different parts of our personality. So maybe me thinking about jumping to other people's universe layers has to do with, you know, the real actual people I meet in waking life. Or maybe this whole idea of jumping to other people's universe layers comes from jumping to the universe layers of different parts of my psyche. Maybe certain parts of my psyche are still manifesting old layers that they're stuck in, right? And a lot of people say, you know, that's why we don't manifest faster, because we're doing it all the time. We're choosing which universe we want to live in all the time. It's just a matter of, it seems like the one we were in yesterday, because, you know, a part of us keeps creating the same layer and gets stuck on some concept or some time period or some event or some feeling or whatever. So, I think that's what's going on. I think maybe I'm starting to see what the other parts of me are manifesting. I'm starting to see the layers that are being created by other deeper emotional and maybe even spiritual parts of myself. Some of the things I've been caught up on in this life and this experience, and maybe some of the other things I've been caught up on if I have multiple lives and experiences. That's certainly possible. And if that's true, maybe there's a part of me that's caught up on something from a past life or many past lives that I came here to learn, or I came here hoping to learn. Who knows if I will, you know. I love thinking this way. I love using agnostic language so that I can believe that all things are possible, and I can explore the ones I like the best without feeling tied in. And that brings me to the one little piece of knowledge, not the two abstract dreams that I wasn't going to explain, but I went ahead and explained anyway because they're fun. But it brings me to that one piece of knowledge that I was able to put together, because it's something I've been putting together for the last couple of weeks, and I'm ready to explain. I get so impatient. I want to explain the big things that I see outlines and shapes and pieces of, and I'm starting to put together, and I want to share those. Hopefully you got something from my abstract stuff. At least you'll get that I've been working on some law of attraction stuff from Abraham and Bashir, and like I said, Brandon Beecham's Positive Heads podcast, which, you know, puts you in touch with a lot of different teachers and channels and points of view, and also Brandon's own point of view, which is a very fun thing. Anyway, try to focus. I'm so excited to talk about the big things that I see coming around the horizon and around the corner, and the thing that I really have a grasp on to show you today isn't those. Like I said, I hope you got something from it. If not, just my excitement and my exploration. But I'm going to try to focus on the one thing. I think maybe that's the thing about being an explorer and being intuitive and being a dreamer, is that the future seems so much beautiful than the now, because we can see what's coming. And of course, as Eckhart Tolle would say, the now is it, it's everything. And this excitement about that, this excitement about the future, I'm experiencing it in the now, so I can enjoy the excitement without trying to enjoy or share the wisdom that's coming. It's hard because I love the future. I know it's going to be so good. But knowing that right now is good. You could hopefully feel me reframing myself and focusing myself into the now and into always being positive, regardless of where my thought is, present, past, or future. And knowing that those are just all limited perspectives and that it's the tip of the iceberg compared to what the universe really is. Okay, so guys, what I'm trying to teach you and took 10 minutes as a prelude, that's what I guess that's what I get for doing this first thing in the morning. It's such a beautiful time. I think it's totally worth it. It's opportunities versus planning. 3 words. All that focusing and all that excitement for 3 words. I'll explain opportunities versus planning, which will be the title of this episode. Opportunities, excuse me, woo, there's a yawn. Body's waking up too. Opportunities are better for me than planning. The idea is this: I can plan my day, and then I'm going to go live my day, and I'm going to change my plan anyway, based on new information that I get, new experiences that I have, new insights that I have, feelings that arise. So why plan? You don't need to plan. I certainly don't. I have minimized my life. So my mom had suggested that I minimized it in kind of a monastic fashion. I don't know. That might be ego. But at the very least, I have minimized my life to the essentials. And that gives me a whole lot of room for choice. But regardless of the kind of life that you lead, you still have a lot of choice. If not the tasks that you undertake, certainly how you undertake them. You could be behind a counter dealing with people placing orders at a retail joint all day, you know? But you have a choice in every moment of how you interact with those people. You may have children that you care for. You know, you may not be able to physically make choices about your next activity as I do. Surely you make some choices for your children, but they make some choices for you. It's a very active interaction going back and forth between parents and children, where they both certainly learn a lot from each other in a short amount of time. Maybe why people do it. Anyways, you have opportunities to make choices in the moment. That's what I'm talking about. Don't plan, is what I'm saying. Of course, if you have made a commitment to show up to work at a certain time or watch your children at a certain time or whatever it is, for me, I make commitments to finish jobs by a certain deadline. I'm a freelance writer, so that's what I do. Commitments are different. I'm not talking about commitments other than to say make very few of them and meet them, even not at the last minute, because that can make people appreciate you more if you get them done early. Not too early, or people will take advantage. If you make a commitment to do something in a week, don't do it today. Don't burn yourself out trying to impress them that much, because you'll come across weak and people won't appreciate you and they'll step all over you. Don't do it. Remember how I just said I wasn't going to talk about commitments and then I did for a minute? That's what I'm talking about with opportunities and planning. I committed to not talking about commitments. I said I wasn't going to talk about them. That's a commitment. I'm not going to do this. Making that statement is a commitment, and I broke it because I continued to talk about it. Like I said, plans can calcify into goals, and they can calcify into commitments. Calcify is kind of a negative word, so I guess I don't want to make this sound too negative. But what I'm trying to do is free you up from things that stick you down. So, I guess I'm seeing freedom as more positive than being stuck down. If you want to be stuck down, make lots of commitments. I really want to frame this in a hey, this is how the world works way, not a this is positive or negative way. But as you can see, I'm still learning about language and freedom and about affirmations and judgments and all that stuff. Um, Judging is planning, right? I make a plan. I want to do this at this time because if I did it this other time, it wouldn't be as good for me. Well, that's a kind of judgment, right? Saying that if I do it this way or at this time or that time, if I do these activities instead of those activities, we're making preferences. That may be a better way than judgments. Judgmental thinking, we tend to put things in black and white. We tend to say that this is good, I'm going to do this is bad, I'm not going to do this, etc., etc. But it's about opportunities. It's about self-trust. It's about trusting your future self, later in the day to make good decisions. If you tell your kids, we're going to the park or we're not going to the park, and then maybe something comes up that makes you change your mind. Maybe the weather changes. Maybe the realities of the day, how the kids are behaving, how you're feeling. Maybe you don't want to go to the park anymore, but you told them that you would, so now you have to. Wouldn't it be nicer just to consider in your mind an opportunity to say, we might go to the park today, and then leave it at that? A smart parent might not tell the children because they might get their hearts set on going from you saying that you might go, and then if you decide not to go, they might be hurt. Maybe it's better just to say that in your own mind. I am not a parent, but for the sake of this example, I'll play it out a little bit as I imagine parenting is. And just like I would say to a person of color or any other person who has a very different experience than me, I don't know your experience. I'll talk about what I think it's like a bit, but ultimately I don't know what you're experiencing. A handicapped person, a very rich person, all these people in my life that I rub shoulders with who have experiences I don't understand. A very beautiful woman, a very old person. I don't know what those experiences are like. I may have the experience of being old, but I don't think I'll have the experience of being a beautiful woman unless reincarnation exists and I can come around and do it. So I will talk about you all and use you all for examples, and please be kind with me because I don't really know what your lives are like. But like I said, opportunities. I have the opportunity today to do some work. I have the opportunity today to meet some deadlines that I've made for myself, one of which is for today. And I will likely meet that. I doubt that I will run across anything that causes me not to meet that deadline, though I know it's possible. I could have something very, very good or very, very negative happen. I could meet someone wonderful or have some experience that prevents me physically from finishing my job. And I'm sure that if that happened, the person who set the deadline with me would understand. But, as far as, basic life and basic planning goes, I've made a commitment and I intend to keep it, and I do keep my commitments. Like I said, by keeping them few and only making the ones that you really need to survive, like work and stuff. As far as resonating with commitments and plans and goals, that's going to change. Your resonance with the things you set out to do in the morning is going to change throughout the day. And give yourself the freedom. Yes, you may be committed to show up to work, right? But give yourself the freedom to change, to come up with something better or something that suits you better in the moment. Maybe you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm going to treat everybody at work with positivity today. And then you get to work and you can't. Don't beat yourself up. Don't overwhelm yourself and push yourself too hard trying to meet that goal. If you can't, maybe it's healthier for you just to treat people professionally and treat people in a neutral fashion and preserve some of your energy and protect yourself emotionally. Maybe being nice to everybody is too big for you. The trick is, don't make those commitments to yourself because you're going to change. Instead, trust yourself. Trust your future self to have more information than you have now. Your future self knows what's happening between now and then. You don't. You know what might happen, but that person knows exactly what's happening. Let them make a choice in the moment of whether they're going to continue an experiment or not, of whether they're going to, make their goals bigger or smaller. Accept the fact that you're going to change what you want to do. Your intuition is going to keep moving. Your deep parts of yourself that know what you're learning and know the balance between too much and too little learning. All those things are fluid. Let them go. Let them come when they come, later today. And when later comes, you will be an even smarter person than you are now. You'll have more knowledge, you'll have more wisdom, you'll have more experience, and your intuition will always be perfect. Your thoughts and choices will always be perfect, and you'll choose exactly what you need to choose in that moment. So, don't set goals, don't make commitments. Do that as sparingly as you can. Look at the future as opportunities. I know that zit is really red, but I'm trying not to look at it. Try not even to rub it away or fix it. I'll do that later. Really try to focus here. Even those of us that live in the woods and travel around the country and have adventures are still vain. We still want other people to think well of us. Even on silly things like our appearance. We are simultaneously gods and creatures. Creators and creations. We're both. So to wrap up, remember that everything in the future is an opportunity. Don't try to overplan. Don't spend lots of energy in the moment thinking about the future. Because it's going to come and you're going to enter that future with a wonderful brain. Don't think that you know better than that person that you are in the future is going to know. They're going to be smarter than you. They're going to know how to handle that even better than you do. Don't make a plan. Because what happens later is for them to decide. I think there's a Jesus quote about don't think about tomorrow, let tomorrow think about itself. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be tomorrow the day. It could be just an hour from now or a minute from now. Don't plan. It takes you out of the now. It takes you out of connection with who you are and what you're trying to do right now. Just like my zit takes me out of what I'm trying to say right now. And we choose beautiful, beautiful places and times to live in. I'm being taken out right now because I'm realizing that my eyes are shifting. Do you see them shifting back and forth? I just realized that was me looking myself in one eye or the other. Isn't that amazing? I guess if I don't look at my eyes and I look at some dot in the center of them, I can focus my eyes and I don't look so weird in the video. That's a good video trick that I'm going to use for many videos. We'll see if I can make that happen.